We're happy to have the coach join us today, and we will open it up straight to questions. We'll start on the right side of the room, second row.
Hey, Jeff. Alex Bonton on 3. Obviously, with Blake's injuries last year, couldn't really get a good idea about what your offense is capable of. So, with a fully healthy Blake, what can we expect from your offense this year?
Yeah, I mean, for us, having Blake back is a huge step. Being year 2 inside the offense, the system, the program, how he's getting coached every day, going to really have the ability to go cut loose and put a lot on his plate to be able to go get us in a position to have great success on the offensive side of the ball. But we want to be incredibly physical, we want to attack, and we want to have the ability to be really balanced. So that's who we've always been and what we'll continue to look for.
Stay on the right side, third row.
Trevor Denton, Way 31 in Huntsville, Alabama. This offseason, you brought in 2 offensive linemen from North Alabama, Keenan and Doland. What have they brought to that room and to your program?
Yeah, excited about both of those guys. Man, Kobe's about the right stuff. I think he's got some position flexibility, but done a really good job at center for us. I love his toughness and who he is in the building every single day. And then Big Spencer's he's a big man that's got a chance to be a really good player. Just a baby in it right now, but excited about the kind of person that he is and how much he loves it. And to me, that's what ultimately is going to give him a chance to be a good player for us.
Stay on the right side, fifth row.
Harrison Marino with UJ Sports. Coach, I know y'all played against him last year. Anthony Evans transferred into the program over this offseason. What have you seen from him in the build-up to the season, and what did you see from him as an opponent when y'all were playing against him?
Yeah, I had great familiarity with Ant. Had recruited him out of high school for a long time. Had great familiarity with the family. Really knew what we were getting, and then coaching against him for the last really 2 years. Having the ability to see him as a return guy and do some of the things he did when the ball was in his hands, it gave me some good feels to be able to have him in the slot and being a return guy for us. And I think he's going to be put in position to go have a really good year, and excited for him.
Left side, back row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Coach, first year as a head coach last year. How are you different a year later? What did you learn in that first year on the job?
Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit today, but I think making sure I'm doing a great job of empowering the right people inside the program to be able to run with things and to go do what they need to do inside of each department to give us a chance to be at our best at all areas. And so for me, obviously, I'm going to call the plays, incredibly involved in the day-to-day and the scheme and the personnel on both sides of the ball and special teams from the personnel standpoint. So empowering people, I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. I've got a great chief of staff. Our sports medicine program is phenomenal. And the people that are in charge of their departments, letting them go do a really good job. And I think everybody inside the building understands the expectation, the programmatic things that we went through year 1 to get us to where we are today, but that probably is the thing that I've learned the most.
Stay on the back row, left side.
Hey, Jeff. Jordan Hill with Dogs 24/7. I want to ask you about Jackson Arnold. What did you see from him in high school that convinced you that you want to go after him? And then what is it about him that you feel like can make him a high-level SEC quarterback? Yeah,
Jackson was a guy that obviously he was my number 1 guy coming out of that class, and Gatorade Player of the Year, all those things. Had him as a true freshman, and he had all of it, and he still does. He's the same young man. So excited for him to get the restart and a new opportunity. But again, physically, a young man that had every single tool that you wanted to be an elite player.
Stay on the left side, third row.
Christy Freud with USA Today. I was going to ask what you've seen from Blake's shape intangibly and intangibly, and where he is from a mental processing and mechanics perspective right now. Yeah,
I think you look at Blake and how he handled the situation last year and having the ability to mentor that room and some of the young guys inside our program. It speaks to exactly who he is. And so he's a guy that loves to lead. He loves to teach. The thing that I love about Blake most is his edge and how he plays the game. He's a young man that he'll find ways to inspire, by how he plays. And so we've got to do a really good job of keeping him upright, keeping him clean. I think the thing from a mental standpoint that's been really fun is our conversations have sped up in a great way. You know, we can create shortcuts because we're speaking the exact same language. We've lived it now together, which is a huge piece of it. And Blake is constantly fighting for every single inch. So he's done a lot of things on the field and off the field to set himself up to go have the year he needs to have.
Right side, standing up, please.
Toby Rowland, KWTV. Good to see you, Jeff.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Oklahoma have an eye on your athletic director. Can you tell us your impression of the job Zach has done in your time?
Yeah, Zach's done an incredible job, and he's just been a great leader for us. He's incredibly consistent. Obviously, what he's done from a fundraising standpoint, I mentioned it in my opening statement in there just a little bit ago, but we've shattered every single record that we have had from a fundraising standpoint, and it's through his leadership. The team that he's put together around him is elite, and man, happy to go to war with him every single day for a long time.
On the aisle, here in the middle.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station. Mario Craver, a young guy that transferred out. Just what kind of a player is he and the potential that he has?
Yeah, I think you see it on tape. Rio's a young man that had the ability to take the top off and create explosive plays, and that was his game, and that was his game in high school, and who he is as a player.
Right side, second row.
You talk about your relationship with Blake. He was here a few minutes ago discussing how difficult the 8 game, like he never missed that many games in his entire life. What do you think he learned most from that experience of kind of sitting back and for no other reason than he had to and watching everybody else play?
Yeah, I think he was really able to dive into the mental aspect of the game and see it from my perspective and our perspective of, man, how we want to go attack people and why behind it. And that was the fun piece for me. He sat in the offensive staff room every single day. He found ways to create involvement, and he found ways to create growth. We were challenging him with that nonstop, and as hard as it was, man, it's going to end up being an incredible blessing because, again, this guy's got year 2 inside the system and has the ability to go have the year that he needs to have.
Left side, second row.
Hi again, Coach. David Edelstein, WJTV in Jackson, Mississippi. With the new world that we're in of college sports changing, including revenue sharing most recently and NIL and all of that, how do you feel like that changes maybe recruiting, especially for a team that's building like yours?
Yeah, again, I think the rev share piece of it, there's been a bunch of questions on it. To me, there's a lot of unknown. I think we're going to have to go through this cycle and sign the 26 class and have the ability to get to the next cycle to see exactly where everything plays out and how it plays out. So for us, from a recruiting standpoint, and I mentioned this as well, Zach and his team, what we've been able to do from a fundraising standpoint has put us in a really strong position, and we'll continue to work off of that momentum as we build this class.
Middle section, back row.
Hey, Coach. Christian Griffin with ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. 4 straight non-conference games to get the season started. How much pressure do you and your staff feel getting off on that right foot before you get off with the SEC gauntlet in late September?
Yeah, I don't know if pressure is the right word. We're excited about the opportunity August 30th, to be able to go on the road. We've got a great in-state opponent and go to Hattiesburg, obviously do a ton of recruiting inside our state. So that'll be a great opportunity for us to get started the way we need to get started, and that's what it's all pointing towards. And then having the ability after that to come home for 4 straight weeks will be huge for our program.
Coach, can you talk about the football passion in the state?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things about Starkville and Mississippi State is the passion and the connection and the love that people have for our university, our football program. I believe it. You walk into Davis Wade and in a big-time environment, and there's nothing better than the cowbells. So there is great passion around our program, and I don't take that for granted.
Second row.
Coach, just want to go a little more in depth on something we spoke about earlier. What do you recommend to your coaches and your staff, like you're empowering them, about how they can help foster the bonds that are required with so many new players coming in and older guys who are meeting new guys, so that they can have the kind of performance on the field that you want them to have as a cohesive unit by August 30th?
I do. I feel like that answer is really simple. It's time. You got to spend time. and that's the only way we get done what we want to get done. It's through being around each other and getting to know each other and going through some hard together. And I think that's how you create connection, you create trust, and you get young people to do what you want them to do.
Do we have a question over here? I thought I saw. Okay.
Hey, Coach. Chase James with the Columbia Missourian. What can you say about outgoing transfer Kevin Coleman Jr. and what he could bring to Mizzou this year?
Yeah, Kev, as he was with us, was a guy that hadn't had a ton of production before, had a ton of production this past year and a bunch of targets, and a guy that, again, if put in position, will have a chance to have another productive season.
Go to the second row here, please.
Just to kind of follow up on what you were talking about, Blake, in the meeting rooms and stuff, do you have an example of a moment where, you kind of saw the light go off in his eyes when,
Yeah, it was really just a couple of opportunities and asking questions. The question that was asked created awareness for me that, hey, he's made some real growth, and I think as you listen to young people talk, they'll tell you if you'll do a good job of listening. And as he sat in there for a couple of those last weeks and was asking questions about the why and how we're trying to attack somebody, I did. I thought that was a great sign of growth.
We'll go on the back and then to the aisle here.
Coach, is there anything you're looking for in particular when you're evaluating a player from the transfer portal and deciding whether or not he'd be a good fit for your program? Coach Freeze yesterday mentioned using personality tests to sort of evaluate a fit for a player. Is there any sort of method that you use?
There's a lot of processes that we have in place that give us the opportunity to what I call protect the pick and protect the locker room. To me, the everyday way to talk about it is, one, they have to be good enough. They have to be good enough to have the ability to come in and affect the outcome of the game. And then the next piece of it, they got to be about the right things. They got to be the right people. And so those two things those boxes have to be checked for us to go get them. And just like everybody, we're not looking for perfect people by any stretch, but we want guys that love football, that are, have great intent and are thankful and grateful for opportunity.
Back row, right side, and then we'll finish right here with two.
Coach, I know there's a lot of talk about the house revenue and the revenue sharing. I know it's still early, but over the last few weeks, maybe even the last few months, do you feel like recruiting is starting to go back toward relationships mattering like it did maybe, say, 10 years ago?
Yeah, I don't think relationships ever got away from recruiting. I really don't. I lead in a way that's incredibly relational, try to be that way with the entire program. Recruiting is a huge piece of that, as we all know. And so we've always been relationship driven. So from my viewpoint, that has not been affected.
On the aisle and then across the aisle.
Coach, incoming transfer Malik Silla, what has he brought to your program?
Yeah, I think Malik's a young man that's got a great opportunity this fall. He's a guy that's got great length. He's got great size. He has the ability to be able to go rush the QB the way we're going to need him to. And he is. He's what we're looking for from a body type standpoint at that position. So a guy that got better and better throughout the spring, has had a solid summer, and man, he got 4 months to be able to go make the most of it. So excited about his opportunity.
Final question.
Hey, Coach, AP Stedham of AP as we see it. Coach, why is it important for Mississippi State to play Southern Miss and Alcorn State? Some universities, they play a team in their state, but they don't include everyone. Why is that important for Mississippi State?
Yeah, for us, as we've set the schedule up, obviously I wasn't a part of setting this schedule. I think the exciting thing for me is that we're starting on the road, but inside our home state. And that's a huge deal for us. And again, from a recruiting standpoint, how much we recruit in Hattiesburg and south of there, having the ability to go on the road inside our state will be something that we're incredibly excited about.
Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. Hail State.